Hi, it's me, Hama Vinh. Alright, so first of all, I want to say kind of weird topic. I'm not gonna lie, it's a definitely weird topic. Look, I don't know what I was cooking. This came to my head, came on as fast as I could. Hi, Jules. Hi. Look, this one's funny. All right, I just thought it'd be funny. All right, if any trauma happening, just let me know and I won't talk about it further. I just thought this was funny. All right, I can laugh at my trauma, okay, but yeah. So basically, to start off, this is a stream where we're gonna rank every grade from pre-K to senior year high school. We're gonna rank each one by how traumatic it is. So if it is very traumatic, it goes at the top. If it is not traumatic at all, it goes at the bottom, or I can't remember it. All right. Look, I have so many stories that I feel like I could just blurt it out and you guys won't care. You know, there's a reason why I drink, okay? There's a small reason why I drink, all right? This is one of those small reasons, okay? One of the few small reasons. Yeah, this is one of the small reasons why I drink, so sorry, I was responding to a Discord message. But yeah, so I don't know how what I say. I don't know how other places do school systems. Some places just completely skip like pre-kindergarten or something. I was a cheese touch kid in elementary. Does that count? Yeah, kind of. That's kind of traumatic. Yeah. I don't know how other school systems do it. My area, you can do pre-K. You don't have to though. I did pre-K, so I came into the school system kind of early. So I was always like a year younger than like a lot of people. But also the fact that my birthday's in September, and we start school in like August. So I technically start a little later than like, you know, people. Like think about it, like they say, so let's say I'm turning 5, right? But I tend to go into school at 4 because, you know, like, oh, you're gonna turn 5 in September anyway, so we'll just put you in, you know, in a grade where a lot of people are either already 5 or turning 5. So, but a lot of people, in my case, a lot of people were already 5. So I was technically younger, quote unquote, younger than a lot of people. That's because my birthday's in freaking September. So what am I can't do anything about it, you know. I got ISS a lot in middle school, to be honest. I liked it. But yeah, we're gonna talk about my my traumatic, okay? So all right. First of all, we're gonna start with good old kindergarten. Well, there's no pre-K here. I couldn't find one that had pre-K. I wanted to find one that had college too, but low-key, college was like completely fine. Like I got into basically no drama at college. The only drama I got into college was like, I don't know, I guess it was only if someone was being a bitch in class. But then whenever I get out of class, I realize, wait, I don't have to interact with this person outside of class. Like, I'm an adult now. I can just go. Like, college drama is incredibly easy to avoid. Like, unless you're in like a sorority or like fraternity, and I wasn't in any of those, so like it's incredibly easy to avoid. All right, unless you have like a roommate or something, then yeah, it's kind of hard to avoid. But if you don't have a roommate and you like stay, you know, you stay at an apartment yourself, or you have your own dorm room, then like it's incredibly easy to avoid drama in college. All right, you only get trauma or drama in college if you make it, okay, or if you let it happen. Like, you know, if someone's bullying you in like class, like you're a fucking adult, like you're just an adult. Like, I say, hey, I could just leave. Like, you know, you can't follow me. You're an adult. I'm an adult. You follow me, you're, you know, stalker or something. I don't know. Like soliciting, assault, any one of those. All right, any one of those. And also, if I ever did get into any drama, it was probably the fact that I was at drinking parties a lot. So a lot of people got drunk, and drunk people do what drunk people do. You know. Yeah. There's also, you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or someone or a significant other. And I guess, yeah, you can have drama. But that's a whole different thing. That's a whole. I'm talking about like bullying, like, you know, class bullying or something. Like, it's incredibly easy to avoid in college. Okay, it's incredibly easy. I would say it's not. It's like it's not also incredibly hard to get out of, but it's just a lot of cases it's kind of easy. At least in my experience. Some people probably have different college experiences. Like, I don't know, some guy in your like your subject, like, you know, your degree subject is always in a class and they bully you a lot. Then yeah, I guess it's kind of hard to avoid. Some people, like, you know, would just report them, and school, like, at least I don't know how other colleges do it, but my college took bullying pretty hard because, you know, I don't know, my school took bullying a little bit hard. So like, if you were being bullied for any reason, like, the bully gets repercussions like instantly. I did my school, that's because like we have pretty important programs, and they don't want people, you know, they don't want people to go to like another college that's literally like an hour away. So like, you might as well make the college here look good so you can make money, you know. Even letter grades. No, I'm talking about school grades. Okay, I'm talking about school grades. But yeah, enough yapping. Let's get to it. Kindergarten. All right, so kindergarten. All right, pre-K. We actually had pre-K. I don't remember anything from it. Okay, I don't remember anything from pre-K. So we don't even have it here. So I can't even put it down. Kindergarten. All right, so kindergarten. I don't remember a lot of trauma. The only traumatic event that I had in kindergarten was when I was playing on a playground and a bird pooped directly on my head. Like, directly landed on my head. And I didn't cry. I went to the nearest adult, which was my teacher, my kindergarten teacher. And I asked her, "Hey, I got bird poop on my head." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Can you help me?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "What? Why?" And then she's like, "No." I was like, but why?" And then like, she walked away. Oh, hi Phantom, hi. Yeah, she walked away, and I was just like, I have bird poop on my head, and the teacher won't help me. So I went to the bathroom, and I washed out myself. Would I say that was traumatic? Kind of. Because it happened twice, by the way. It happened twice that year. It happened twice in kindergarten. Was it kind of traumatic? I mean, I didn't panic. See, because I was always told if a bird poops on you, you're lucky. So I kind of thought, hey, that's kind of lucky. So, but I was just like, the fact that, well, I have to clean it up now, and I don't see why this is lucky, but I'll just take it, you know. I'll take my parents' word that it's lucky. So, other than that, I don't remember anything from kindergarten. So I'm gonna just put kindergarten in the middle. Just okay. Where my only memory of kindergarten was, you know, was nap time. Nap time, getting picked up by my parents, bird poop on my head twice. Not bad, not traumatic, just okay. Right, so I got a bunch of help, but right now I'm trying to do a recipe I haven't tried yet. Do the dodgy, make these soup bones with preserve. Ooh, nice. Oh, I've been craving deviled eggs lately. So wish me luck. Good luck, Jules. Alright. Alright. First grade. Let me try to think. First grade. I don't remember my teacher from first grade, so that's probably a bad sign. Okay, first grade. I don't remember anything from it other than like snack time, recess, catching ladybugs. You know what? I would just say first grade was kind of chill. Like, be honest with me, guys. Do you guys remember anything from first grade? All right, other than like learning math and like history and like English and cursive. I remember doing a lot of cursive. I remember doing a lot of spelling, like the spelling. Holy shit! Do you guys remember spelling test? My parents would freak the hell out if I ever like fucked up on the spelling test. I don't know why. They would always freak out. Like, they're like, "Why did you spell like you know, cereal wrong or something like that?" I'm like, I don't know. I like what even is cereal. I never had cereal as a kid, by the way. I never had cereal until I was like in middle school. Okay, I'm gonna be real. Never had cereal until in middle school. You know what I had for breakfast, like from first grade to fifth grade? I had either rice porridge, egg on rice, sausage and egg on rice, bread, what was it? Egg drop soup. That literally all I had for breakfast. Like, I probably had like, oh no, and pancakes from McDonald's. Pancakes from McDonald's and waffles from egg waffles. Open sea farm. Hi, Rogue. Hi. And we're going to farm for a future. Holy shit. Wait, yeah. I remember first grade, they took us to a farm to pick out pumpkins. And I didn't have any money. So I didn't get to buy a pumpkin. But then my mom and dad bought me a pumpkin anyway. So it's all good. And then we did it again. And we did it again like in November. But it was like buying squash. So we could, we could have squash. And yeah, I remember drawing hand turkeys. That was fun. Other than that, yeah, first grade, kind of chill. Nothing too fun. I don't remember. Nothing too bad. When we learned to write letters, my Viet mom made sure my handwriting is perfect in elementary. Still, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. I never learned I never learned how to write Vietnamese. I can read a little bit of Vietnamese. I can speak Vietnamese, but I can't write it. I never went to school for it, so I just know how to. I can understand it. I know how to say it, but verbally, just like on paper, I'm bad at it. I remember going to kindergarten future for old cathedral. You went to go to a cathedral, like a Gothic cathedral, bro. We get to go to, like tech museums and like aquariums and stuff like that. I'm Latino coded. I'm Vietnamese coded. So, look, luckily my area was majority Vietnamese people. So, yeah. All right, second grade. Okay, so second grade. Second grade. Okay, so second grade, not bad either. I remember doing violin, but I never practiced, so I got kicked out of violin. Not traumatic. I didn't like violin anyways. So I switched to piano. Piano was alright. It was a band. This was dark as hell and cloudy. That's still kind of cool though. See, second grade we went on like museum trips. We went to a field trip one time. We went to like an old Mexican mission. That was kind of cool. I went camping. Well, no, I'm talking about education wise only, so I can't talk about stuff I did outside of school. Look, I only talk about what happened in school, okay? Second grade. Oh, I remember one time. So it didn't happen to me. But I remember one time, this kid in my class, right? I think his name was Josh. He got in trouble. So my second grade teacher made him run the track, like the running track outside while it was raining. And then lightning struck like the ground, and he came back in crying because he thought he was gonna die from the lightning strike, and I felt really bad for him. It's not traumatic for me, but I'm just saying like that probably fucked him up. I remember playing Power Rangers, pretend Power Rangers, and then my friend was like, no, you can't do that. I have like a gun that shoots infinity or something. Like what kids do, right? We're like, oh, I have a gun that shoots infinitely. And they're like, no, I have armor. We did that kind of stuff. Oh, and then I remember I got on a swing, and then since I was small, I was a tiny child. I was bad at swings. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So you know how like when you use a swing, you have to like back up on the ground and like run forward and you get the swing, right? Well, I was too small for it, and I couldn't reach the ground. If I sit on a swing back then, my feet could not reach the ground because I was that small. So I always need someone to push me, right? And then one time, I was on a swing, just sitting chatting with my friend, and then her dad was like, "Oh, do you need a push, little Hama?" And I was like, "Okay, I want to know what it's like to be on a swing." And then like he pushed me really hard, and then the swing did the thing where you do a full loop, right? And then he did that, and I was completely scared. And I didn't want to do it again. I did not want to go on a swing ever again for like a year. I legit did not go on a swing for a year. Because like he pushed me so hard, I did a full loop around the swing set. Like in a full circle. And then I think that's where our fear of heights came from. I'm just saying I didn't enjoy swings. Thank you, someone who understands me. Someone who understands. Thank you, Phantom. Because of that gave me a fear of heights a little bit. So because of that, I'm gonna put second grade at no, you know I remembered. I just remembered. Second grade, I just remembered one time there was a dead possum in a flower in the school garden. And then my friends made me touch it. And then they accused me of having rabies. And then I had to go to the doctor to get checked up. And they're like, "Oh, he's fine. He didn't touch it." So, and then my mom and dad got mad at me because I touched the dead possum. Oh, and then one time, I saw a kid like, use the urinal wrong. And then they accused me of like, bullying that kid for some reason. So I don't know why. That was also the year where I got introduced to dodgeball. And then I kept getting hit by dodgeballs because they were trying to train me, and I sucked at dodgeball and I cried a little bit. So I'm gonna just say second grade, not too traumatic, not incredibly traumatic. Like this is just like normal kid stuff. So it's not incredibly traumatic, but not too traumatic. All right, third grade. This is where things get rough. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is where things get rough. All right. This is where things kind of went downhill for me. Okay, so third grade. For some reason in third grade, I was bullied. I don't know why they just started bullying me. Like these are people I've been in like since kindergarten. I've known these people since kindergarten. For some reason, started bullying me. I don't know why. It started when I was talking about Fairly Odd Parents with my friend. I started talking about Fairly Odd Parents with my friend. And then, for some reason, he was like, "I don't want to be friends with you anymore." I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "You don't have an Xbox." I was like, "Yes, I do." He's like, "You don't have a Xbox 360. And I'm like, "Okay, but I go to your house to play Xbox anyways. So what's the fucking problem?" And then he was like, you need to get one yourself. I was like, I don't know how to fucking do that. How am I supposed to get Xbox by myself? Like at 360, are we not okay with the Xbox, like the normal Xbox? And and then he stopped hanging out with me. And then another friend wouldn't hang out with me either for some reason. And so this other friend, right? He was one of triplets, so he had a twin brother. We also had a twin sister, and the first twin brother, stopped hanging out with me. I don't know why. The other twin brother actually hung out with me, so that was cool. The twin sister, so in the library, I sat on one of those like when you go to the library for reading time, right? And they give you like things to sit on. So I sat on one of those, and it made like a farting noise. And then the twin sister, accused me of farting in the library, and I cried. And then in response at lunchtime, what was it? In response to lunchtime, I told her she made a farting noise by accident. So I told everyone that she farted, and she cried, and then I cried. And then her friend came up to me, and she said she's sorry for what happened in the library. I was like, alright, can you tell her I'm sorry for what happened at lunch too? And And yeah, we made up. That was kind of traumatic though. All right, and then 3rd grade. Then later on, a bee ran into my face. I didn't. This is even traumatic. I just want to say that I was running, and then a bee like ran into my face and then moved on, and I got jump scared so much. Oh, 3rd grade was also when I got in trouble for playing pretend Naruto. So yes, this was the year Naruto came out, by the way. Yeah, this was the year Naruto came out, right? This was the year when anime started appearing on like American TV. I'm not even joking. I watched like a little bit of Dragon Ball, a little bit of One Piece. I watched a lot of Naruto. I watched a little bit of Black Lagoon. Watched a little bit of Bleach as well. Shit. I don't remember any other anime. I remember this one anime. I legit can't remember it for the love of me. There was a scene where they're in like a building and these soldiers are like shooting like these little demon things that will like regenerate. It's basically lost me at this point. It's too specific of a scene to like narrow down, by the way. So, but yeah, I got in trouble by the teachers for playing Naruto because I did the Concho like 1,000 Years of Death like on a friend, and I got in trouble for that. So yeah, and then we couldn't play Naruto anymore. One time I shared a snack with a friend, and then my 3rd grade teacher, I can say now, she was kind of a bitch. She sent me to detention for sharing food because she said, under the guise of, she said, oh, what if he was allergic? I was like, wouldn't he know not to eat it if he's, they're like, well, he's a stupid kid. I was like, you can't just call like your student stupid. And she's like, well, you're stupid for sharing like, you know, your snacks with your friend without even knowing his allergy. I was like, and so I got detention for it. And then they told my parents apparently that I almost poisoned another kid. And then you know what my mom did? She's like, I don't believe him. You know what? If your friend wants food, then I'll make him food too. So my mom packed me 2 lunches, and yeah, and I gave it to my friend, despite, you know, the teacher saying, oh, you can't share food with your friends. So I was like, why me? What was it? Oh, I also went to Vietnam that year too. I went to Vietnam that year. That was fun. That was a fun time. But that was just during summer, so that didn't count. Let's see. I kept getting bullied. This time I was getting bullied for being short, apparently. That's the only thing I remember. It was short, and then one other thing. I think the other thing was like really stupid and insignificant. So yeah, I got bullied. Wait, let me do the timeline. So I got the library thing, my friends leaving me. I got in trouble for playing Naruto. I got in trouble for sharing snacks. Oh, one time my teacher, so my 3rd grade teacher, she had eye surgery in one eye, right? And she was walking, and she bumped into me. She bumped into me, and she's like, "Watch where you're going." I was like, "You watch where you're going. You're the one with one eye. You watch where you're going. Shouldn't you be like at home resting?" But I didn't say that, but that's what I think. That's what I thought. But I said like, I'm sorry, and she's like, I had eye surgery, right? I can't see. I was like, I was standing still. I literally was just standing still. I was literally standing at the whiteboard with like my group, because we were like doing a group project, right? So I was standing at the whiteboard, and we were near her desk. So she ran into me, and then I said, "Watch where you're going." What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Girly, what am I supposed to do? You had eye surgery. You should know, your eye, you don't have full vision right now. And I am literally an 8-year-old child who is like tinier than you. So obviously you're probably gonna run into one of us. And she blamed me, and she took away one of my stars. because of that, she took away one of my stars, by the way. She ran into me and she took away one of my stars. Can you believe that? Yeah. Anyways, after that, I got bullied by like 3 dudes, right? I got bullied by 3 dudes. They're like a little friend group. Why did you play Subnautica? Why did you play Subnautica Live? What do you mean? I played Subnautica yesterday. Oh, yeah, hi Benjamin. Hi. We're ranking my educational grades by how traumatic it is. We're getting to the good part, which third grade was a lot. All right. So I got bullied by 3 dudes. So I don't remember what happened, but one day I got hella. They were bullying me like while we were like outside. I got hella mad. And then one of them held me down. Cause keep in mind, I was a tiny child. Okay, I was a short child back then. So one of them held me down, while the other 2 kicked the shit out of me. And then I scratched the eye of the one holding me down, and I hit the other 2 in the balls. And then the teacher saw that, and she blamed. Remember, she had it out for me. By the way, she had it out for me that year, so she blamed me, and I got sent to detention. But my dad said you take my son out of detention right now, because you know, the boys only had 3 injuries, only 1 injury each, right? While my son clearly looks like he got the shit beat out of him, and I got the shit beat out of me. So I have to use auto brain computer. I have to translate those grades in French grades. But yeah, and then so just think about 3rd year, right? So 3rd grade is just 3rd year of like, you know, of primary school. So I got the shit beat out of me that day. And I went back to school. Then they tried doing it again. They held me down again. This time I had a rock in my pocket, and I hit the guy holding me down. And then they did it again another day, and then they tried to at least. But then you know what happened? The kids who were like, you know, who saw the bullying, they held me back so I wouldn't beat the shit out of them with a rock. And they said like, don't use the rock, don't use the rock. I was like, okay, fine. And then they kept bullying me, like, you know, saying bad stuff to me. I don't remember what they said, but I remember they just being mean to me. And then one day I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fight all of you. And they're like, okay, I'm gonna bring like 10 other kids from our class. I was like, okay, I'll fight all of them. Yeah, but it starts with which were you? It also starts 5 with us. I started late. So I started at 4. So by the time I was in 3rd grade, I was an 8-year-old. Yeah, so by 3rd grade, I was 8 years old. So yeah, so 1st grade is like 5 years old. 2nd grade, no, 1st grade is 6 years old. So like CE1. Basically, yeah, I think. So 1st grade, I was 6. 2nd grade, I was 7. 3rd grade, I was 8 years old. Yeah. So 3rd grade, I was 8 years old. So wherever grade you're supposed to be in 8 years old over there, that's where it was. So 3rd grade, I got challenged to a fight against my 3 bullies, right? So I asked other people in the class, hey, can you guys help me like fight the bullies? And they're like, sure, we'll get other people too. So what happened was we all I met my bullies on the field during lunchtime. He brought like the entire half of the 3rd grade to come fight me, and then I unmistakably gathered the other half of the 3rd grade to fight them. This included girls too, by the way. Girls on each side. And I don't know how, but it ended up into an entire brawl of like 50 to 100 3rd graders on the school field that the teachers apparently were ignorant to for some reason. I kicked the shit out of. I beat up like so many people. Like I pushed people down, I punched them, I kicked their faces while they're on the ground. I nut punched a lot of people. I didn't hit any girls, by the way. It was only boys fighting me, and I fought so many people. And there were dodgeballs apparently, and someone brought dodgeballs. The fight, like the school eventually saw, and he gathered every teacher to stop the whole thing. And then no one got in trouble because they couldn't figure out who started what, and no one was a snitch. How schools expect bullies stop me? Hey, stop bullying me. Bullies understand. Yeah, exactly. Schools just think like you just talk your way out of it. No, you think if I could talk my way out of it, I would have? You think I wanted to fight them? No, I did not want to fight them, but they drove me to it. So and then you know what's fucked up? After the whole fight, a month later, I was gonna be sent to tutoring, because my parents thought I could use some tutoring. And then I was in a carpool. You know who I was carpooling with? I was carpooling with 2 out of 3 of my bullies. Yeah. I had to carpool to tutoring with two out of 3 of my bullies. And that was incredibly awkward. Eventually we kind of made up. We're like, you know what? We fought. Neither of us won. Let's call it. Let's call it. I was like, okay. I don't know why I'm so nice. I was like, okay, I forgive you. Kind of forgive you. It's more like I won't antagonize you, and you won't antagonize me, but I won't forget the way you beat the shit out of me and mocked me and stuff. So yeah, after that, 3rd grade kind of just went by. After that, like nothing else happened after that. School field trips were fun. Hot chocolate one time. School photos. Everything was fine. It was just that the whole fight and my teacher being like hating me for some reason. Yeah. So I'm gonna put 3rd grade incredibly traumatic, because that's how I became a delinquent. That's how I became that kid who fought every year, who always got into a fight. So incredibly traumatic. Yeah, because of that teacher, I have a need to to try not to be in the wrong, or at least prove I'm not wrong, or at least to prove that there has been injustice done upon me. There was. Oh, I don't ever want to go back to 3rd grade. All right, 4th grade. 4th grade, not bad, honestly. Bullying was done. There was no more bullies after that. Because I fought all my bullies. So they know I'm a fighter, so I can't do anything. They can't do anything. In your quit in 4th grade, I was the teacher's favorite student. 4th grade, that's when I met one of my best friends. That's when I met one of my best friends. Oh, 4th grade, I also found a 4-leaf clover. So I'm gonna say 4th grade was fun. I don't remember a lot from 4th grade. I just remember 4th grade. I had a better year than 3rd grade by a mile. I was a delinquent. I was called a quote-unquote delinquent, right? Because occasionally I would have like a kid try to fight me, but then I would punch them first, because I'm not gonna get held down and get punched. I learned from that mistake, so I just thought, you met your bro didn't spawn it. He was always in my class. I just never talked to him. All right, I just never talked to him. I kind of feel bad. I never talked to him. I don't know why. I don't know what side he took the 3rd grade brawl, but yeah. And then they sat me next to him in one class, and then I was like, you know what? We have the same last name. He legit had the same last name as me. Wait, no, did he? No, never mind. I'm a liar. No, he had the same last name as my mom, her maiden name. But yeah, and then we talked and we're like, oh, we both like Halo and Call of Duty, and Legos and Star Wars. So we hung out a lot. We hung out a lot. 5th grade. So I'm just say 4th grade was fun. 5th grade, also fun. No problems. Every time a kid wants to fight me, I would fight them first. Yada yada. I still got good grades, by the way. I still got good grades. Oh, and at the end of the year, the school gives all the 5th graders water balloons, and then all the 5th graders get to have a water balloon fight on the campus. It was so fun because they used the entire school, right? The entire school as a battleground for water balloon fight. I'm talking they put water balloons everywhere. You can use any part of the school to have a water balloon fight. And then so like we kids like made up like different factions or different groups. Oh, it was so fun. It was like all warfare. It was like an all warfare. That was so fun. Oh my god, I freaking loved that. That was such a fun thing. Other than that, school was normal. You know, I had snacks. Oh, 5th grade was when I stopped bringing my mom's food to school because they're like, why do you always bring like, you know, like stinky like Vietnamese food? I was like what else am I supposed to do? Like Lunchables. I was like, what's a Lunchable? And I had my mom buy me Lunchables. Well, without looking at all the school shootings, of course, this was before all the, you know, the bad stuff like happening at schools. But yeah, what else? What else? Other than that, yeah, 5th grade was good. 5th grade was looking good. All right, 6th grade, let's go. All right, 6th grade. So this is middle school, right? So this is the school before high school. So I guess you'd call it junior high. First year of junior high. Not bad. Most of my friends from elementary came with me to 6th grade, so I didn't lose a lot of friends. I still have my best friend. I got bullied by like a 7th grader or an 8th grader. I don't remember. No, I got bullied by a kid I don't even know from another school. I got bullied by him for being short. So yeah, and then I want to change. I seriously want to change. I didn't want to, you know, be known as the delinquent anymore. But holy shit, he forced my hand. So while we were running the mile, so by the way, for context, a mile is like where we had to run like, you know, a whole mile every like once a week. So while we were running that, he ran up to me and like started like, you know, saying stuff to my face. So I punched him, and I knocked him to the ground because of that, and I kept running. I didn't get in trouble for some reason, and he stopped bullying me after that. Yeah, so yeah, and then other than that, 6th grade, kind of normal. I had to get used to like, you know, the system, but you know, otherwise 6th grade was looking good. Oh, I forgot. I remember one time in 2nd grade, I left the classroom. No, kindergarten. I left the classroom to go read a book, and I didn't tell my teacher, so the school thought I was missing. But I was in the library just reading like a World War II book. Yeah. But 6th grade. 6th grade. Oh, 6th grade was when we started having book fairs. That was fun. You don't know what book fairs are? Those are like, it's like a day where like this like company called the Scholastic Book Fair, they bring like a random shop in like the school library, and kids can go buy like books that the library doesn't have, or like random items. Like random items, I'm talking about like pencils, erasers, toys even. And this is where you could tell who was a rich kid and who wasn't. if based on how much money they brought to this Scholastic Book Fair, I was medium. I was like middle, so I brought like $20 to like $25, which is a decent amount, right? You get like several books with that, or like a bunch of toys. Some kids brought like $50, like $100. I remember those. My friends would always try to get I bought. Did I buy the Guinness World Book Records? Yeah, I did. I bought the Guinness Book of World Records one year. One year I bought just the erasers and like sticky hand toy things. Another year I bought a book called Deadliest Warrior. Another year I bought like a pop-up book about like Legos or something. Yeah, I love the Scholastic Book Fair. So I'm gonna just say 6th grade was just okay. Nothing too bad happened, well, except that bullying, and also, you know, I wasn't really vibing with middle school, because like elementary you kind of have one class and you just go to that, right? Middle school, that's when you start to go into multiple classes across campus. Oh, I also got tested for autism that year as well. Yeah, the school thought I was autistic for some reason. So they like pulled me out of class occasionally to you know, so that a person like would make me draw something or like write something, and then, you know, to assess me, and then like they're like, can you draw can you draw your family? And I'll just draw stick figures, because, you know, I'm a kid. I don't have artistic finger. And I'll just draw me, my mom, my dad, grandpa, grandma, and my sister, and that's it. I don't know what they were looking for. Like, did they want me to just draw like my dad dead or something? Like, I don't know. I love my dad. So and then there was another time during 6th grade where they pulled me out to go to speech therapy for some reason. They pulled me out to go to speech therapy. And then, you know, they're like, can you say this, Hama? And I was like, okay. And I said it, and they're like, okay, you can go back. I was like, okay, I guess. I thought everyone had to do that. It wasn't until I got older I realized that only some kids had to do that. I don't know why did I qualify for speech therapy, or why did I get assessed for speech therapy? I don't know why. Is it maybe because like they heard me speaking Vietnamese, because I actually knew how to speak Vietnamese, and they thought I was like, you know, I was speaking gibberish. All right, my school had no Vietnamese teachers, by the way. We had no Vietnamese teachers. I had a Chinese teacher, but I didn't have any Vietnamese teacher. So I guess they just thought I was speaking gibberish. Okay, so yeah. Oh, one time I was playing video games. You guys remember those like cool math games, or like arcade pre-hacks, or like armor games or something? You know, those flash games you used to play on the school computer? Yeah, I used to play those too. Those are fun. I remember Bowman, where, you know, you math blasters, that, yeah, basically that. I remember playing Bowman, Race, Raft. Oh, those were fun. There were others too, I just can't remember them. I don't know. Yeah, 6th grade, not bad. 7th grade. Okay, 7th grade. 7th grade, kind of, a little bit. So 7th grade, I got bullied twice that year. First bully for this guy named Oscar. So this kid named Oscar, he bullied me for some reason. I don't know, maybe because I was small. I've always been a small kid. So he bullied me. And then I got bullied 3 times that year, actually. Never mind. I got bullied 3 times that year. So he bullied me. He just kept like gaslighting me and like saying mean things to me. A girl I had a crush on, he told that girl I had a crush on her, and then she was like ill. I was like, why? I was like, that was so fucked up. And then like it came to a point where during gym, he attacked me with a tennis racket, right? He attacked me with a tennis racket. So I ran to my gym teacher, who I actually really enjoyed. He caught my bully like trying to attack me with the the tennis racket, and so he gave my bully detention. And then my bully, after detention, he came out. What is it? How'd it go? The next time we had gym class, he attacked me with a tennis racket again, and I was like, all right, well, the gym teacher isn't in sight, so I don't know where he is. So I would just do what I normally do and fight back. So I pushed him, and I hit him with my tennis racket, because we were playing tennis. I hit him so bad that I broke his glasses. And then then his parents, his parents and my parents met each other in detention because we both got in trouble. And then they tried to say your son broke my son's glasses, and then my parents were like, well, your son has been bullying my son for the past like several months. And then they're like, do you have any proof? And then like the gym teacher came in. He's like, yeah, I caught your son like attacking Hama with a tennis racket like a week ago. So yeah. And then like they're like, well, it seems like like the bully bully was the one instigating. So the bully got in trouble. I got scot-free. And then like he never bullied me again. Cause I broke his glasses, so yeah. And then later that year, during gym class again, someone robbed me. I legit had $60 that I want to use to buy like a new video game. Someone legit robbed me. Like someone went into my locker during gym class, stole my wallet, and then took my money from it. So yeah, that was fucked up. I never got my money back, by the way. That was fucked up. I told my parents about it, and they're like, all right, we'll give you another $60 because we feel bad. So yeah. And then to make up for my parents, I was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna make up the money for my parents. So I sold candy and soda at school because my dad was really into soda back then. So I would sell candy and soda, and I eventually made up like the money back to pay my parents back. And they said, no, it's okay, Hama, you just keep it, but like we're glad you understand how important money is. So I was like, yeah, yippee. And then so I got bullied because this one kid, or this one like dude, right? He poured water into my backpack with my gym clothes in it. So I had to wear my wet gym clothes. And then he would say, oh, look at Hama, he peed his pants. So I was like, no, I have they poured water in my backpack, okay? And then and then like he kept saying that, and I got hella mad because I was already pissed off that I had to wear wet clothes during PE, which is very annoying because I was chafing. Two, he was doing it in front of people. So you know what I did? I grabbed him and I started punching him in the face, and I got in trouble for that. So yeah. And then but then like I got bailed out because some girls came and said they saw that kid like pour water into my backpack. So, and then the gym teacher was like really nice to me, so he was like, all right, you know what, he gets in trouble, Hama gets to go free. So I don't know why the gym teacher was really nice to me, but he was always nice to me. Yeah. he was nice to me. And then later that year, another kid lied to the gym teacher that I cheated during PE, and I got talked to by the gym teacher, and I cried a little bit, and then he was like, I know you're not a cheater, so I'm gonna ignore it, but don't worry about it. I was like, okay, thank you. Let me see. And then later that year, another kid tried to bully me. I don't know why he tried to bully me. He was always like antagonizing me for some reason. And then I got tired of it. I asked my dad, hey dad, can you just straight up talk to the school, tell him this one kid's bullying me? So I gave him the kid's name. My dad talked to the school, and then my dad's like, all right, I talked to the school. He didn't get in trouble for it. He kept bullying me, and I told my dad, but he's still bullying me. And my dad's like, all right. So he pulls out a metal water bottle. He tells me, Hama, you gotta take matters in your own hands sometimes. I was like, okay. So then after school, so we got out of class, and that kid ran up to me and like tried to hit me. I dodged him, and I pulled out the metal water bottle. I hit him once, and he got knocked out. And I just ran to my dad, and then like my dad's like, all right, we're leaving. We're leaving. My dad's like, I saw that, we're leaving. I didn't get in trouble, and he was fine. He was fine. But yeah. And after that, the rest of the year went normally. I went to school dances. School dances was fun. School dances were fun. Yeah. Shout out to my dad for giving me a metal water bottle to fight my bully with. Yeah, and then I would just say 7th grade traumatic. Not incredibly traumatic, not really. It's just more fights than it was just a lot of bullying, but it's like not too much bullying. One time an autistic kid tried to kill me in 7th grade. Because I went in line first, and then he grabbed my sweater and then tried to choke me for getting in line first for class. So he tried to choke me. That was funny. 8th grade. 8th grade, not too traumatic either. School wise, not too traumatic. One of the teachers died. That was pretty bad, but yeah. My best friend. So here's what happened. So my best friend of like 4 years at this point. 5 years at this point, actually. Yeah, 5 years at this point. So one time we were playing, and he wanted to tell me a scary story. So he did, and I thought it'd be funny if I ran away from him. And I did. And I ran back, and he thought I legit left him. And I was like, you're overreacting. I only ran as a joke. Like, I did not run from you because I thought you were scary. And he thought I was really serious, and we argued. And then later he moved that year. So he moved. Yeah. He moved. So I was devastated because I basically just lost my best friend. So he moved away. We played so much Nerf guns at home. We played Call of Duty together. We played Halo together. We had so many sleepovers. Good times. He moved. And then my other best friend moved. I got the honor roll twice that year. I was actually supposed to get the honor roll 3 times, right? Oh, so get this. So there was another kid in my grade, right? His name was also... I can't say it. I was like, he had the same name as me. And since I am Vietnamese in a high Vietnamese area, that was, it was bound to happen at one point, You know how many Kevin Nguyen's there are in my area? You know how many freaking Kevin Nguyen's are? You know how many Andy Trans, Andrew Nguyen's? You know how many new wins are just in my area alone? Like, I'm not a new win, but you know, I'm just saying, as a Vietnamese person, like, we end up having the same names, okay? Uh, so this kid, he had the same name as me, and I thought it was funny. So, you know, I would make jokes about it. He didn't think it was funny, apparently. He didn't think it was funny. And then, he had so he got in trouble one time, and I got sent to detention. And my parents came by, they're like, what did my son do? And they're like, oh, he like, what was it? He skateboarded and like, I don't know, like pushed like a 6th grader or something. I don't know. And they're like, that's impossible because Hama can't skateboard. And they're like, well, the teacher who saw him do it wrote him up saying, this is, you know, that's his name. That's his name, right? Yeah, that's his name. Then my parents were like, do you also know that there's another kid with his name too? And they're like, well, when we called up, you know, this name, he came. And I was like, well, obviously, because you called his name. Like, you're supposed to, you know, call both of them. Why did not both of them show? I was like, well, he was the first one here. So I was like, they're like, do you hear yourself right now? I'm so glad my parents stuck up for me. I am so glad my parents stuck up for me. The other parents probably would not stick up for their children, but my parents stuck up for me. I appreciate them so much. And then they're like, all right, we're gonna prove this once for all. Which lunch did this happen? And they're like, all right, this happened during first lunch. They're like, all right, see, that's where the skates is thrown out the window. Because he had second lunch. And they called my homeroom teacher. And they're like, hey, does Hama have second lunch or first lunch? They're like, he has second lunch. They're like, all right, my bad. He does not have detention anymore. We'll get the other guy. And they're like, I was like, yay. I don't have detention anymore. Detention's hella boring. Yay. Yeah. Oh, and then he got my honor roll. Yeah, he got my honor roll. I asked him, "Can I get my honor roll back?" He's like, "Oh, I threw it away." I was like, "Why would you throw away my honor roll?" I asked the school for another one. They're like, "Sorry, we can't do that. You have to prove that you got it." I was like, "How? He threw it away." They're like, "Okay, well, sucks to suck." So I had 3 honor rolls that year. I had 3 honor rolls that year, and I was robbed of 1. So I would just say 8th grade, not too traumatic. Was it? No, yeah, no, just okay. Because during graduation, when they called up my name, me and him both stood up because we have the same name. And they're like, we gotta see whose is this, whose diploma is this. That was funny though. 9th grade. All right, so here's where it gets weird. All right, this is where it gets weird. So I did not end up going to the same high school as a lot of my old friends. I had to go to a college prep school, which is basically a private school, right? I had to go to private school, and the first year there, I was one of 2 Asian kids, because apparently this private school was majority white, Latino, and like African American students, right? Not a lot of Asians, apparently. This was a new school too, by the way. So this was a new school, and I was one of few like Asian students. So immediately, I was known as one of the only few Asian kids. Let me see, blah 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 blah. I had it pretty good for a while. I guess you could say like, so I wasn't being bullied, because my school had a no bully tolerance, right? So you bullied someone, you immediately got expelled. So no one risked it. I guess one time, so you could still bully, but you just had to be careful, you know. One time, so one of my friends, He was like a gentle giant. A girl was bullying him like really bad, and I don't know what came over me. I drop kicked her, and then I got called into the principal's office, and my homeroom teacher was there. And my homeroom teacher was like, Hama could never do this. He's an angel. He's the nicest kid ever. And I was like, yeah. And then they're like, all right, well, I guess you're free to go then. So I got away for drop kicking someone. So I would say ninth grade. That was the only thing I remember from ninth grade. Other than that, ninth grade was like pretty much. I got in trouble for playing Halo Combat Evolved on my school computer. Yeah, this is when schools started giving you like everyone like personal laptops. I got in trouble for playing Halo on it. But you know, I got in trouble. It is what it is, you know. I would say ninth grade was just chill. Ninth grade was just chill. Yeah. 10th grade. Let me think. 10th grade. I was a theater kid for a while. Not traumatic. This one kid, he was kind of like high-key racist. He bullied me and other, like, you know, people of color. He was mean to everyone who's a person of color, right? He was mean to everyone who was a person of color. So yeah, he bullied us. I never fought him because I didn't want to get in trouble with the school. Because I wanted to rebrand. Not traumatic. It was not traumatic. It was just an annoyance. Because one time he left his wallet on the table and I stole money from it. So yeah. What else? We went on field trips. That was fun. Oh yeah, my high school, since we were private school, right? Every year at the beginning of the school year, we would go on a school-wide camping trip. That was incredibly fun. Because we get to go camping for free, basically. And then we would also, at the end of the year, we would do a college tour. So they would drive us up to colleges, and like, you know, we get to tour them and stay the night in a hotel. That was cool. All my friends were solidified by then, so I had a good group of friends. Other than that, yeah, 10th grade was kind of chill. I would say 10th grade was chill. I also discovered anime in 10th grade. See, 9th grade, I didn't discover anime yet. I was, you know, trying to rebrand, not be delinquent back then. But 10th grade, I discovered anime. So my first anime was High School of the Dead. Yes, I know. Pretty wild anime to start off on. Yeah. You know what? You want to know what my second anime was? High School DxD. You know what? My third anime was after High School DxD. Nisekoi. And after Nisekoi, Heaven's Lost Property. And after Heaven's Lost Property, Haganai. I forgot what Haganai was about. Like, I Can't Make Friends or something like that. It went downhill from there, or just went. I don't know. I wouldn't say downhill. It was actually a good anime experience. I would say I was hooked on slice of life anime, and comedy and, you know, romance. I did watch Black Lagoon, which is like one top tier anime. I watched Fairy Tail for a while. Fairy Tail I did like for a while, but man, did it go on for so long. I just lost interest. I burnt out on it. I burnt out on Fairy Tail. I stuck with it for so long though. I watched a lot of anime in 10th grade. Watched a lot of anime. Let me think. Yeah, I watched a lot of anime during high school. Yeah, I discovered anime during high school, and I was like, you know what? Maybe life ain't so bad. I started chilling out. I started chilling out. I was like very like chill by the time 10th grade was ended. So 11th grade. So 11th grade. 11th grade was not bad either. But so one time I was in class. So I was in like a class, right? And the teacher stepped out of class, and she was like one of my favorite teachers there. One of the kids, one of the guys in class, he started saying like really mean stuff about the teacher, and let me think. And then I was like, hey, you shouldn't do that. She's like, she does so much for us. He's like, what are you gonna do about it? I was like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Like, I'll just tell her that you said this. And he got up and like he wanted to fight me. I was like, okay, you want to fight? Fine, let's fight. And like we got ready to fight, but like we heard the teacher coming back. I was like, see, I knew you wouldn't do it. And then after school, he jumped me. I got stabbed. But I wasn't gonna let getting stabbed stop me. So I punched him back. I kicked him in the balls, and he ran away. And I pulled the pencil out of my side, and I just went home. Yeah, I got stabbed. That was fun. That was funny. And then I wouldn't get bullied again. He was just an asshole though. But he was just an asshole. Oh, I remember this one teacher. I felt really bad for because we would not listen to him, and he ended up quitting. I felt really bad. Oh, this other teacher, sweetest teacher ever, right? Sweetest teacher ever. Sweetest teacher ever. She and one of my like friends, we were like so good in her class. We were favorites. She sat us in the front seats, but she didn't care what we did, because we always got our stuff done. We always paid attention when we was talking. So when it was free time, we play games or watch YouTube on our laptops, and she didn't care because she knew we were like we were doing good. Like we deserved a little bit of like a break. So yeah. That she was a nice teacher. So I liked her. Other than getting stabbed. Oh, I remember this one girl I had a crush on. I had a crush on this girl, but she had like a gay best friend, and he was really, really mean. He wouldn't let anyone approach her unless it was a girl. And so I was a little bit bummed out that I could never talk to her. I knew she had I had a feeling that she may have liked me. Gay. I had a feeling she may have liked me, but at the same time I can't know because I could never talk to her, because whenever I went up to her, like he would he was always next to her, so he would be like, ew, what are you doing here? Or like, ew, are you trying to talk to her? I was like, I don't know what to say. So like, so I would leave, and yeah. So I don't know why she, she was fine with it. Like, why are you just fine with him like kicking people away? I had another girl call me a communist. This one girl, she said I was a communist. Because I was Vietnamese. I was like, whoa, where is this coming from? It's like, yeah, because Vietnam's like, you know, a communist country. I was like, well, I'm not in Vietnam, am I? Like, I was like, I was born in America. You can't just say I'm a communist just because I was, you know, I'm Vietnamese. So that was fucked up. Not traumatic, but like, you know, kind of fucked up. And then like a rumor came around saying I was a communist. I was like, okay, and I was like, you know, and so I played into the joke that I was a communist. Actually, I played into it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I do like Soviet music, like Soviet anthem music. And then, you know, it's like, haha, you know, like, I'm a communist, you know, give me some of your food, you know, stuff like that. So I played into the joke. It eventually went away. It was like, it wasn't funny anymore. It's like, you know, he's like owning it now. I was like, haha, yeah, the Vietnamese boy is a communist. Haha, oldest trick in the world. Haha. Yeah. Oh, that's when I started selling food at school again too. I had my mom make rice lunches, and I would sell them for like $15, like you know, 15. I was selling for $15. Back then, that was highway robbery, but people wanted authentic food for some reason. I don't know what my school was serving. I know my school served slop for like a good amount of time. Like a lot of the food back then was like slop, like, you know, like Michelle Obama, like, you know, quote unquote healthy food. Like, it was like a weird time, right? So I sold rice lunches. I made bank. I bought all my games by myself. I bought whatever I wanted by myself too, because I made like $160 like a week back then, right? That was a lot of money. That was a lot of money for a kid, okay? This is a lot of money for like a high school kid back then. So I basically made $160 a week. Because, you know, selling $15 boxes, how's on water from a Vietnamese restaurant. Exactly. Right out of my back. My backpack was really heavy, by the way, because like, carrying all the rice, like the rice lunches. Yeah. And I told you at the end of the day, give me back the Tupperware so I can, you know, give you more food. Because you don't, then you don't get food. And legit, if no one brought me back Tupperware, I wouldn't give them any more food. Because, you know, you have the dish you're eating out of. So if I don't have it, then you can't eat. So yeah. So you know, they would have to give me back the Tupperware so I could put more food in it, and then I can sell it back to you, you know. So I could have easily charged them like, hey, since you took the Tupperware, you need to pay me like 20 more bucks or something like that. I don't know how much Tupperware costs, but I could have done that, but I'm too nice, so I just said return it, and then you can start buying from me again, because, you know, I make good food. So yeah. Oh, and then the vice principal caught me selling, right? So I gave him a rice lunch. I said, hey, if you're done with that, please bring back the Tupperware. He brought back the Tupperware. He's like, you can keep doing what you're doing. I was like, okay. I literally just bribed him. He had one taste of my food, and he's like, I'm gonna let you cook. I'm gonna let Hama cook. I'm gonna let Hama cook. And then one day I got really tired, and I was like, you know what? Owning a restaurant at school is like really bad for my back, because you know how much rice lunch I had to carry. And also too, I've made enough money. I've made enough money. I'm gonna buy my Xbox One. Yes, this was all just to buy an Xbox One, by the way. I'm gonna buy an Xbox One. You know, ironically, I didn't even buy my Xbox One. My uncle bought it for me for a Black Friday present. So I used the money to buy video games for it. Instead of, you know, because now I have like $300. So I could buy like 6 video games with it or something. Yeah, $300 is 6 video games, right? Or is it? Is $300 6 video games? Or is it 5? It's 5, yeah. I bought 5 video games with it, yeah. Oopsies, I can't do math. Where? I can't do math. Where? Back then it would have been like 6 or 8. Yeah, back then it would have been like 6 or 8 video games. 7 or 8, yeah. Let me see. Huh. Let me think. Other than that, 11th grade, not too traumatic. A little bit traumatic since I had to fight for the first time again. And yeah. Other than that, yeah, I would say 11th grade not too traumatic. Yeah. 12th grade. Let me see. 12th grade was really good actually. 12th grade, we went to school camping trip for the last time. Hung out with people. Played a lot of video games. Went to prom. Prom was really fun. I asked my date out. She said yes. So prom. So get this. So prom, right? So prom. We had it at a country club, and my friend and I, one of my best friends, he was like, "Hey, we should get pho before prom." So I was like, "You know what? Bet. Let's go get pho." And our dates did not get pho because, well, my date said she was gonna be late, so she was like, "I'll meet you at prom." My friend's date also was there at the pho restaurant, but she wouldn't eat pho. She would eat like appetizer or something. I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Well, I don't really want to spill like pho broth on my dress." I was like, "You know what? That's valid. That's valid." Also, I had hand cut roses from my garden back then. I had my family had a garden, and there was roses in it. So my mom hand cut roses and put them into a bouquet for my date. Hama, yas queen, yas queen. And then so we got into the car, right? So that my friends like parents were gonna drive us to prom. So there was not enough room in the back seat because it was me, my friend, his date, and her best friend. So there were only 3 seats in the back. So what happened was I sat down, the other 2 girls sat down, and then my friend would lay down on all our legs, and his face was like on my lap. His head was on my lap. I was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Are we gonna get pulled over by the cops?" Then like no, we'll be fine. Yeah, we were fine. And then prom, we had I brought bouquet to my date, and I got told by like some teachers, they're like, "You're the only guy to bring a bouquet." I was like, "Really? I thought this was like normal." Like, "No, you're only guy to bring a bouquet." I was like, "Well, take that, other classmates. I guess I have more riz. I guess I don't know. All right, I don't know." We danced. We all for prom king. I somehow got second for prom king. I don't know what the fuck I did. I got second like place for prom king. I wasn't prom king, but I got second place. So I don't know what happened. I'm real. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I got second place for prom king. Oh, by the way, at the prom they only serve desserts. I was like, I'm so glad I had pho before this, because I don't think I could eat like a bunch of candy, And I'm glad I didn't, because a lot of people got sugar crashes, A lot of people got sugar crashes because they only serve candy and like sweets for dinner. Obviously you're gonna get sugar crashes, or you're gonna feel bad. Took a picture of my prom date. Yeah, so prom was fun. And then my prom date, we broke up because I realized she was too innocent. Like, dead ass. Like, I'm a freaking degenerate sometimes. my first anime was High School of the Dead. All right, so I kind of watch weird anime. I also play a lot of like violent shooter games and stuff like that. She was like completely wholesome, innocent, all that. So I had to break up with her after prom. Kind of traumatic, not gonna lie. That was like, I think that was like one of my first few girlfriends. We broke up after prom. Because you know I didn't think I wasn't fit for it. All right, I had to admit I wasn't fit for it. She understood. She's like, yeah, I mean, you know, you can like what you like, but yeah. So there's that. Oh, before that, I met this one girl who was a 6 foot tall like white girl, and we dated for a while. A couple months into dating, I get a message from a dude. You guys probably heard the story before. I get a message from a dude saying like who are you, what is your relationship to this girl? I was like, I'm dating her. And he's like, I'm dating her. And then I was like, whoa, okay. So I called her up, and she's like, I was like, hey, there's a guy saying that you're dating him. Is that true? And she's like, oh yeah. I was gonna tell you. I was like, you were gonna tell me what? So I'm dating 8 other guys. I was like, huh? And she's like, yeah, I'm dating 8 other guys. I was like, okay, okay. And yeah, and then you know, I was like, okay, bye. And then you know, and we did for a little bit while longer. I was like, do I even want to be dating her anymore? And then like one day she's like, by the way, I'm a furry. I was like, what's a furry? And she's like, you know, the weird people in the suits, you know, and like, you know, the furry. And she's like, I want you to put a leash on me and, you know, walk me like a dog. I was like, oh, hold up. Hold up. So I broke up with her. And then she decided she didn't like that. So she decided to like blast me on Facebook. And then it didn't work because, you know, in doing that, everyone's like, this is kind of shallow. Like, you shouldn't bring this out in public. So they flipped the script on her and got mad at her instead of me. And I told people that, like, yeah, she's dating 8 other guys in the school. And then apparently because of that, they found out some of the guys that she's dating already had girlfriends. So yeah. What was it? Oh, there's also the time where there was Halloween, and this girl gave me a brownie. And I ate it, and I got news the next day that there were marijuana brownies distributed around school, and I had a brownie. And I was freaking the fuck out. Was I high? I can't remember. Like, do you remember stuff where you're high or something like that? And then I found out I didn't get a weed brownie. I just got a normal brownie. Because apparently their plan was to have like people give out normal brownies, but also weed brownies to their friends, so that, you know, they could pretend that everyone got brownies, right? So I was like, the plan is ingenious, until one of them let it slip out, and then they all got in trouble for, you know, distributing weed. Yeah. So I was paranoid for like a good few days because I thought I was high. All right, I legit thought I got high at one point. I just can't remember it. Yeah, I thought I got high. I just couldn't remember it. Really traumatic. Not incredibly traumatic, but like, you know, I was my first drug scare. What else? What else happened in high school? Nothing much that comes to mind having in high school. Yeah. Other than that, pretty normal. Prom was good. I got into a lot, a lot of school, a lot of colleges. Oh my god, yokai. You're bringing up memories, yokai. You are bringing up memories. What the hell? Yeah, I was so scared I was gonna get in trouble for that. I was so scared. I was like, I ate a brownie. Why do I get associated with them? I'm in a good mood. But yeah, I got so scared. I got, I thought I was gonna be in trouble. But yeah, and then other than that, let's see. Other than that, 12th senior year, not bad. Senior year, not bad. Trying to remember, is there anything else during senior year? Oh, I almost drowned in the pool. Brownie. Yeah, I almost drowned in the pool one time. I not traumatic, but I want to tell a story. So in senior year, we went on a trip to like Yosemite, right? So we were hiking up the mountain. We got up to the mountain. I took off my shirt along with my other friends because it was really hot that day. And then I brought out a manga. I read manga back then. It was manga of Monster Musume. It was Monster Musume, and I read that at the top of the mountain. Then we hiked down. One of our friends was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a rest. Alright, I'm tired." So we're like, "Okay, you have your buddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's with me." So we went down the mountain. Yeah, went down the mountain, and then the other guy came back. We're like, "Where's our guy?" And he's like, "Oh, I lost him." I was like, "What do you mean you lost him? You're supposed to stay with him." Literally, the teacher said that. So we had to wait for him to hike down the mountain. Obviously, he was pissed. He wasn't pissed at us, but he was pissed at that guy. So that guy, right? The guy who left him. So his name, let's just call him John, right? So John. So I had to. Oh shit! I just remembered something. Oh fuck. Oh god damn it! Yeah. So I remember that John was in charge of like one of the volunteer clubs at school. So to join to get multiple colleges, even look at your application, you need extracurriculars, right? And as currently, as of senior year, I only had musical theater, fishing, and that's it. I only have musical theater and fishing. So I joined a bunch of clubs. I joined the Writers Club. I joined the History Club. I joined a Asian American Student Club. I did a few things with them. And then the best one I joined was the Interact Club, which is a club where you do stuff for your community. You do community service, right? So John was actually in charge of it, and the second in charge was a junior, so a girl 1 year younger than us. And John was always busy, so whenever I had questions, I would ask the second in charge girl. He saw this, and he kicked me out of the club, saying I didn't do anything but talk to people. And I was like, that's a straight up lie, because my parents drive me to all these charity events that we do. So that was straight up lie. And then she told me that, hey, sorry, I think he he saw Yumi talking and he took it wrong. I was like, "Are you two dating? I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, we're not dating." But he has a crush on me. He's like, he's not very subtle about it. I was like, "Oh, okay. So can you get me back?" And she's like, I could write something that says you did it. You don't have to be in a club area. It just says you did it." I was like, "All right, I'll take that." She did that for me. I was like, "All right, thanks." So there's that. Traumatic wise, I got a call from a friend from another school. So I got a call from a friend from a school I was supposed to go to, and one of my middle school best friends had passed away. He had passed away via I can't even say it. I just say he passed away, and his passing caused me to hate a certain thing in society. So I got called in the middle of class, and the teacher wasn't inside the room, so I took the call, and then they're like, "Yeah, he passed." I was like, "When?" I was like, "This morning." I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Are you sure?" They're like, "Yeah, we're pretty sure he did this." And I was like, "Oh shit." So I went on with the rest of the day, and then during math class I was listening to music, right? Because we could listen to music in this school. I came across a song that my friend who had just passed away would play a lot, because he was a guitar player. He would play a lot, and I broke down. I just broke down. I started sobbing, and my friend was like, "Why? My best friend, like one of my best friends, was like, why?" I was like, so I told him that my friend, he died today, like this morning. I got a call like 2 classes ago, and this was one of his favorite songs to play. And then they sent me to my homeroom teacher, who was like a really good teacher, and he's like, "Hama, you can just take it easy. You just sit. You can sit like over here and just take it easy." So I kind of just sat around, like, crying, being sad, telling other people in case they didn't know, right? And then I got a talking to by my homeroom teacher during lunch. He's like, "Can you tell me what happened? Because I just know you're upset, but you didn't tell me what happened." I told him what happened. He's like, "I'm so sorry." And they're like, "Do you want to go home early?" I was like, "Yeah." So I went home early. I cried. I told my parents. I cried. And then I wanted to go to the funeral, but I asked his parents, like, "Is it okay if I go to the funeral?" And they're like, "Sure, we'll contact you." I never got a contact. And then by the time the funeral happened, I knew there was gonna be a funeral. I just didn't know when, so I was just waiting. And then I got told by another friend, like, "Oh, hey, it happened." They're like, I was like, "What? I didn't get an invite." And they're like, "It's okay. Like, some people didn't get invites too. Apparently, they only invited people he was actively hanging out with." And I was like, "Man, I went to another school. I can't help that. I legit liked him." And yeah, and because of that, I hate one form of public transportation now. Yeah, I hate one form of public transportation now. So yeah, I would say that's pretty traumatic. I would say 12th grade, pretty traumatic. All right, we've come to the final part. All right, going through the rankings again. 3rd grade, incredibly traumatic. 3rd grade was incredibly traumatic. Yeah, a lot of fights, a lot of bullying. The most bullying I've had, by the way. Most bullying where I actually got hurt. All right. I got bullied in 7th grade too by like 3 different people. But they didn't beat the shit out of me. All right, 3rd grade they beat the shit out of me. 7th grade. I mean, also learned how to fight back in 3rd grade, but I feel like that's still traumatic. 7th grade, bullied. Bullied pretty hard. 12th grade, bullied. Almost got into fights. Good prom. Friend dying was really traumatic. 2nd grade, again, random kid stuff that you just get argued about, and also a fear of heights. 11th grade, bullied a little bit. It was just not too traumatic. Like, you know, drama happened here and there. And then the rest of these are just, you know, they're okay, normal kid stuff. You know, you get bird poop on your head. Someone calls you a doo-doo head. Friends get mad at you here and there. That's just normal stuff, you know. 4th and 5th grade were fun. 1st grade, 9th grade, 10th grade were all chill. You know, I got to go clubs. I got to go field trips. I went to every field trip. I went to every school dance. Festivals, I went to that. I did the whole shebang. There was a time during 7th and 8th grade, I was on Adderall for a little bit. I stopped taking my Adderall at one point because I didn't like how boring I was. I didn't like how boring it made me. I was like a zombie. Other than that, not bad. I don't remember if there's anything else. No, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the grades. Would I say I had a good school life? Yeah, I would say I had a good school time. From kindergarten to senior year, pretty good. Some years were worse than others, you know, but you know, that's just how it goes. Some years are just worse than others. Let me see. Now, I will take a screenshot of this. I'll take a screenshot of this. And then, No, I'm looking weird. This does not look like the face of someone who has trauma, but you know, I fit we ball. Fuck it, we ball. Look, the trauma. All right, the trauma. You know, look, the trauma is just is what it is. Okay, the trauma is what it is, and you know, we roll with it. All right. We roll it because, you know, you don't have a little bit of trauma, you know, or trauma builds character, okay? Trauma builds character, because of, you know, what happened. Let me see. I don't know. Because of this, like, I am a nicer person. You know, I know when to not fight and when to fight. I know how to pick my fights. I definitely know that. What else? I don't know. Basically, from what I learned, you kind of just got to roll the punches sometimes, but also know when, you know, to draw a punch. Trauma, that's trauma. I'm past that. Some people will hold on to trauma for a long time and it really affects them. you know, I try not to let that happen. Like, things happen. Unless you like legit like, oh, except that one guy who stabbed me. I don't think I can ever forgive him. I got stabbed. Okay, you don't just walk away from a stabbing. Well, I walked away from it, but you don't just let someone walk away from stabbing. I couldn't do anything about it because he stabbed me and he got away. I had no proof other than of word of mouth. Like, yeah, he stabbed me with a pencil. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Not bad. I would say pretty good school time. Pretty good school time. Hey, 4th, 5th grade, peak. 4th, 5th grade were just peak fun. 9 was chill. I just had to slowly learn to make friends again. I had to learn how to make friends again. Because how do you go from like knowing all these people for like a good amount of your life with a pencil? Why? Oh my god, Crafty, you're here. Oh my god, you have so much. You have so much to like follow up on. Holy shit. So basically, he was bullying. Well, he said some mean stuff about a teacher I liked. And then in response to me calling him out on his bullshit, after school, he jumped to me and stabbed me with a pencil, and then I hit him back, and then he ran away, and then I had to pull the pencil out of my side and just go home. So yeah, like could he got in trouble for that? Yeah, but he eventually moved away. He eventually moved out of the school anyway. So yeah, but yeah, Crafty and anyone else who's late here. So now that you see the tier list, which one do you want me to expand more on? Because oh boy, I have a lot to expand on. Is there a grade you want me to expand on why I put it there? And let me just say, being stabbed with a pencil was not the worst thing that happened to me too. That was not the worst thing that happened to me. Let me see. I'm trying to see where I should post this tier list. Eighth grade. 8th grade was just chill. Because 7th grade I got bullied a lot and I knocked a lot of people out. 8th grade was just chill. It was just chill because what was it? I got in trouble occasionally because so there was another kid in my school with the same name as me, and I got in trouble. Whenever he got in trouble, I got in trouble. So yeah, me and my friend had an argument. Me and my best friend had an argument that hurt really bad. And then that kid with my same last name and first name stole my honor roll by accident, I got sent to detention because of him, because he did something bad. My parents defended me, and I got proven innocent. So I didn't get in trouble. But I was in detention for like a couple minutes. Other than that, 8th grade was just chill or just okay. Wasn't anything significantly fun. Wasn't anything significantly bad. I went to every school dance and event, but nothing crazy fun or crazy bad. Two of my best friends had to move away, so that was devastating as well. Yeah, they moved away, so I couldn't, I didn't have any more friends, or at least I barely had any friends. I'm usually in the red category I'm usually used to red card being at the bottom. Well, the red is because we're ranking it by trauma. So bad one goes on the top and the good ones go on the bottom. Yeah, hi. Is there any grade you want me to elaborate on why I think this is the most traumatic? So we got 3rd grade being the most traumatic, grade for me. And then 7th and 12th, 2nd, 11th, and then and so on. But yeah. Otherwise, let me think. What else happened? What else happened? One time I'm trying to remember. Oh, one time during the fishing club in high school, we went fishing, and I got sunburned. So there's that. Oh, and senior year of high school, oh shit, I forgot to say, yeah, senior year of high school. So I did a project with a really controversial topic, but that's because here's what happened. My English teacher said you had to pick a controversial topic and debate on why you are or against or support it. And I was like, you know what, this is really funny, I'm gonna pick this topic. I can't say it on YouTube because it's political and I'm not a political YouTuber or VTuber. So I picked the topic and I thought it was really funny. One of my best friends, he laughed so hard he fell out of his chair, and then I caught the attention of the principal, who was like, "Can I talk to you about your topic?" And he was like, "Are you really serious about doing this?" I was like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "You know what you're talking about, right?" I was like, "Yeah, because our teacher told us we needed a controversial topic." And then they're like, "Can you do it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's part of my, it's a major project." So he's like, okay, we'll see. So I put my heart out into this project. Like, this was an incredibly heartful project. I don't think I have it anymore, by the way. I think I legit lost it in another email or something, because I had a school email. But I put my heart and soul into this project, and I presented my project in class. Obviously people were like, "What the fuck, Hama?" But my best friend, he laughed the whole time and he fell out of his chair during my presentation. And then other people started laughing too. And then when it came to picking which presentation would it present in front of the school, I was robbed because I had so many votes and they just picked another girl to do her project, which is basically a project about why men are bad, essentially. I don't know if having a girl present in front of the whole school and tell half the school that men are bad is a good project. But at the same time, mine was not that good too. Mine was not appropriate too. But I'm just saying, why is it okay for, for her to say all men are bad in front of school, but I can't say what I said? I don't know. I at least like hoped like the other project where like my friend was like, why like schools need safe spaces. Like, why did not that one not get picked, but saying men are bad is, an okay one. I don't get it, but men are bad. Like, I'm gonna be real, men are bad sometimes, but like, is that really what we want to hear on like the last month of school? Like, is that really what we want to hear on the last month of school? I don't know. I'd rather hear about like safe spaces or like why veterans need more money. I don't know. I just feel like there were better topics to like end the year on. That's a really depressing thing to like end it on. At least mine's kind of funny. Mine is kind of funny. Hers is brought down like the mood for like for the next week. What else? I was gonna say something. Fuck. I remembered something. No, not that. Oh, I remember during picture day. So this was for the yearbook. So during picture day, I had an idea. I was like, what if I just join, quote unquote, join a bunch of clubs, right? So I went to I followed the picture day people, and I would photobomb a bunch of club photos, and then it would look like I was in those clubs, and then I would write those down. I would write those down, and then pretend I was in those clubs, so that colleges would think, oh my god, he's in so many clubs. And it worked, by the way. It worked. It actually worked. Oh my god, it actually worked. Oh, that was funny. It actually worked. I don't know how it worked, but it actually worked. And yeah, what is another thing that happened in senior year? I remember something else happened in senior year. No, I got called a communist in 11th grade, so that's not it. I had to console my friends when they got broken up with their girlfriends, but no one consoled me when I broke up with my girlfriend. But when my friends got broken up, they thought it was the end of the world. I had to console them. I don't know how it landed on my shoulders, but I had to console them. So that was that. 12th grade was kind of dramatic, yeah. I would say 12th grade, kind of dramatic. Not as traumatic as 3rd grade, though. No, I took 3rd grade way harder than 12th grade. And 7th grade. You dang caught me. This is bringing back memories now, haha. Oh, I also came out as bisexual in 12th grade. No, 11th grade. 11th grade. I came out as bisexual in 11th grade. That was fun. I told my gay homeroom teacher about it. He was like, "I'm so proud of you. Like you know." Yeah, so I came out as bi in 11th grade. Then I dated a guy in 11th grade, but we only dated for like a month. Then we went back to being friends. And then before this one senior guy left, graduated, I went on a date with him. Didn't think he was like that, but whatever. Why was that a little fruity? Okay, I'm still a little bit fruity. Yeah. Oh, I had chickens in 11th grade. Yeah, I had chickens in 11th grade. And then we had to move houses. And then I couldn't take the chickens with me, so we had to give them to another farmer. So I miss those chickens. I have a cat now, so it's okay. Yeah, and then 12th grade was normal. I didn't date most of my high school life, to be honest. because there were no girls I was really interested in. It was either that or they were, they weren't the right sexuality. Like they were either lesbian, pansexual, but like straight leaning, or uh like gay leaning. I don't know. I don't know the proper terminology. It's Pride Month, so yeah. Oh, I remember one time in science class, we had to do this like micro ecosystem thing, and I had to chug a whole liter of like 7-Up because like they didn't say we had to like bring the bottles like empty, so I legit had to chug a whole liter of 7-Up. That was probably not good for me. Oh, one time the school vending machine had like a bunch of snacks stuck, right? And then I spent $5 to get all of them unstuck. That was pretty epic because like we're like because we kept pushing more and more, like, and they would just get stuck on the glass. And I was like, what if we ordered something up here and it falls down and pushes everything down there? And then it did, and it was so funny. I literally wanted a singular bag of chips too. I want a singular bag of chips. I joined a dodgeball like team in high school. We got pretty far. We didn't make it out of state, but we got pretty far. We made it to the state finals, so that was cool. I was a good dodger. I wasn't a good catcher though, so I could hit people, I could dodge, but I wasn't good at catching a ball. So if you drew a ball at me, yeah. I remember one time some girls wanted me to twerk for some reason. This was back when twerking was starting out. So yeah. What else? Other than that, 12th grade, not bad. Dang. I don't know what else. Other than that, I would say high school, like I say my peak like educational like years was definitely college, because college college was really good for me. Yeah, college is really good because like you basically you're an adult by now, and you do you. I immediately joined a Vietnamese student like association. It was called VSA. So I immediately joined one, and yeah, immediately joined one. So I was instantly like friends. I instantly had a friend group to rely on. People who understood me, and we could relate to each other. I sort of became a normie in college, because my first like month or like 2 in like the first semester was me like testing out clubs. I tested out like a fraternity or two. I hung out at their parties and stuff. I was like a frat boy, like quote unquote, for like a while, and then I found out that you have to pay to be in a fraternity. I was like, you have to pay? And I was like, hell no, I'm not paying. I got locked out of my my dorm like one time. Yeah, I got locked out of my dorm one time. That was kind of funny. Yeah, so I was a frat boy for a little bit, and then college, I was doing my thing. I was going to my classes and stuff. I was in my classes. Nothing bad happened. I dated one girl. She broke up with me to go to Paris. Broke up with me, go to Paris, and then so I didn't date for a while after that. Hung out with people. Hung out with my Vietnamese, friends. Other than that, college was fine. Discovered drinking. This was fun. I discovered drinking. Game changer. Honestly, game changer. College, I had this wine class. It was really fun. I'll talk about it more in the future. But basically, wine class. We drank wine and we learned how to make wine and how the process of wine and history. We got to go on a field trip and drink wine. That was fun. But yeah, oh shit, yeah. I want to do this. Alright, give me a second. I need to. Sorry, Chato. You guys are gonna have to hide for a bit. You guys gonna have to hide for a bit. No. There we go. There we go. Alright, I'll welcome you guys back in. Hold up. I'll welcome you guys back in a bit. There we go. School grades. By how traumatic they were for me. Here's my tier list of school grades by how traumatic they were for me. I'm already in therapy. I already have a therapist. I legit do have a therapist. I only started going to therapy like last year, by the way. I only started going to therapy last year. Can you guys believe that? Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow is kind of iffy because like my schedule is really weird tomorrow. If I am streaming tomorrow, it's probably gonna be Subnautica again, or another game I have. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye y'all. Bye bye. Have a good night or a good day. Bye y'all. Bye bye.